Undisputed, we're live from Los Angeles. I'm Joy Taylor, here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Joy. Joy, how are you?
Hi, Shannon.
Good.
How are you?
Go ahead, Skip.
Go ahead and do what?
You ain't gonna say anything?
I just got one thing to say. MVP!
Really?
I'm talking about me, not about Russ.
Oh,
How are
okay.
you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good. How are you, Joy?
I've been better, but
So have
I'll
I.
get through.
I'm with
What
you
y'all-
on that one.
I mean, what's going on, Joey?
Let's get to the real news.
What's going on,
Get it
Joey?
started in the NBA. You know what's going on. The playoffs begin on Saturday. LeBron James sat out of last night's loss to the Raptors. It was the Cavs' fourth straight loss. They'll take on the Pacers in the first round. After Indiana beat Atlanta last night, the Cavs won 3 of 4 against Indiana this season. Let's take a look at the rest of the Eastern Conference. The Cavs are the 2 seed. The Celtics have home court throughout the East and will host the Bulls in the first round. Wizards, Hawks, and Bucks Raptors are the other 2 first-round matchups. Skip, how hard is LeBron's path to the NBA Finals?
Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp. Your guy is so lucky.
Oh, stop it.
He is so blessed by the NBA gods, who I guess just wanted to give him a smooth, clear path to his 7th straight NBA Finals. Because last night, LeBron's path to the finals went from dangerously hard to ridiculously easy,
How
in my
so?
view. He dodged 2 first-round bullets. I will tell you the truth. I believe with all my heart and soul that 2 teams would have upset the Cleveland Cavaliers in round 1. And LeBron dodged both the Heat and the Bulls last night. Just by fate, you suggested that maybe he was tanking to avoid the Heat. But then the Heat suffered a horrendous late season injury that cost them probably the 7th seed. Because I'm still going to remind you about the Miami Heat, your Miami Heat. Since January 17th, the Heat still have the best record in the East and the 2nd best record to the Golden State Warriors in the NBA. But over the last 13 games, they went only 7-6 and barely fell out of the playoffs by 1 game because their guts in their glue, Dion Waiters, wrecked his ankle 13 games ago, back on what it was, early March. And 7-6 cost them the best record in the NBA since January 13th. That's what they would have had. They would have been number 1 overall since that's a big sample size.
Mm-hmm.
And they finished 3-1 against the Cleveland Cavaliers. I'm just saying that if they're the 8 or the 7 or wherever, depending on where LeBron would have fallen, if LeBron deals with them, LeBron loses in the first round. Because I'm going to say
Really?
this one more time. Yes, sir. Because let's talk about big sample size. Over the last 46 games the Cleveland Cavaliers played, that's 56% of their closing schedule. They went 23-23. You can't defend that. They're a 500 basketball team, the defending champs are.
Mm-hmm.
On the road, they're a sub-500 basketball team at 20-21 for the whole year. That's terrible. That's screaming that something is wrong with the Cavaliers. Wrong enough that with Dion Waiters, Miami would have beaten Cleveland. I believe the Chicago Bulls would have beaten Cleveland if somehow they had fallen into an 8-1 or 2-7 or however it would have worked. Because I'm going to remind you, the Chicago Bulls went 4-0 against the Cleveland Cavaliers this year. 4-0. And I realize that they finished 41-41, but I don't care. With Dwayne Wade coming back, you don't think Dwayne would have had a little something to say to LeBron in those playoff games? Just a little something?
Yeah, good
You don't
luck
think
in the
LeBron
finals,
would have been
LeBron.
looking over his shoulder at D. Wade,
That's what
his
D. Wade-
big brother?
D-Wade would have told LeBron, good luck in the finals, bro.
Yeah, I'm sure he would have. 4-0 against the Cavaliers. So I remind you that last game that they played at Chicago on March 30th, Cavs get off to their hot front-running start as usual. They're up 11 early in the 3rd quarter, and they just collapsed as they usually do. But they really collapsed the Bulls, and they lost 99-93. Remember that Friday night game? So that was the last time they played. I would have loved this Bulls-Cavs first-round matchup. I would have relished Heat versus Cavs in the first round. It would have gone 7 games. Might have been over in 6 in both cases. It just might have been over on the other floor. Look, they wind up with an Indiana team. Paul George just doesn't think he can beat LeBron James. I'm sorry.
Yeah, 43-9.